Okay, so first day, right? 1/22/19. So our objective, what are we going to talk about today? So first of all, we're going to talk about graphing linear equations. All right? We need all of our lines to be in the form of y equals mx plus b. The term linear means line, but you got to be careful. Line, linear, it looks like the word line. But there's lots of lines, curvy lines. But if it's linear to straight lines, that makes sense? If we're talking about linear equations, it's going to be straight lines. And we will do a bunch of curvy lines in here because this is Algebra 2. We'll get through this chapter. We'll do some parabolas in here, but the first couple of days is going to be just straight linear equations, okay? M is the slope, right? And we know that slope is rise over run. All right? And the B, this B here, is a y-intercept. So the y-intercept is kind of like the starting point, but it's on the y-axis. That's why it's called the y-intercept. So if I'm going to graph this, first of all, I'm going to put it in my x-y axis. So I'm going to go ahead and x and y-axis, right? X-axis, y-axis. So every line has a name, and that's its equation. Every line has a name, and that's its equation, right? This particular equation is a line. What we do is we'll start at -5. And it's called a y-intercept, so you start on the y-axis. Okay, hopefully this is really obvious to everybody, but I'm gonna dumb it down to make sure everybody gets it, right? So y-intercept, -5. So on the y-axis, I go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of like my starting point for graphing lines. I like to start at the y-intercept. And then from here, I'm going to apply the slope. Well, the slope is the number in front of x, okay? So if it's rise over run, we're going to go from our starting point, and we're going to rise. We're going to go up 2, and then we're going to run 3. So basically, we start at -5. That's my y-intercept, and I'm going to then go up 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3, and that's my next point on the line. Hopefully this is a nice little review for everybody, okay? And I can do that again, because how long are lines? Well, they're forever long, right? So I'll do that again. I'll go up 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3. I'm going to connect the dots because a line's got all the different points in between. Put arrows on the end because it's forever long. So there's my first line. Start at -5. On my y-intercept, put a dot, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, okay? Thumbs up? Pretty easy for everybody? Okay, number 2. So, same kind of thing. I'm going to start at -3. That's my y-intercept. But my slope is 2. Well, I need a fraction. You always need a fraction here because it's a rise over run. So I'm going to change 2 into 2 over 1, and then I've got a fraction, right? Right, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my x-y axis, x-axis, y-axis, x and y-axis. Same thing. We're going to go down to -3 on my y-axis, right? Don't ever start on your x-axis. 1, 2, 3. And my slope is up 2, 1, 2, and over 1, up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1, so forth and so on. And I can even go down to back 1, same line. How am I doing? Am I going too fast or am I good? No, Morgan's way ahead of me. I like that. Must be doing okay, huh? Okay, thumbs up. Okay, good. All right, number 3. So the problem with number 3 is I need a fraction here. I need a number in front of x. See, negative x, but what is the number in front of x? 1, right? So it's a 1 over 1, because we need a fraction, so everybody agree 1. It's a negative 1 over 1 x, so we'll start at positive 1. This is a nice review. Everybody remembers how to do this, hopefully. Start at positive 1. And then I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1, okay? Okay, I'm going to make a little bit of a statement here that hopefully seems really obvious to everybody, okay? So, if the slope is positive, so that's a positive number, 2/3, we go uphill. That makes sense. If it's a positive slope, it goes up. If the slope is negative, negative 1 over 1, we go down. Does that make sense? So you can always look at that. And how do we know if it's going up or down? We read from left to right. So if we're going uphill, positive slope, downhill, negative slope. Okay, now, example 4, y equals 5. What's the slope? What's the slope? It has a slope, believe it or not. It really does. It's 0. It is. Slope's 0. So slope is 0, and it's like cross-country skiing. You're going to go, seriously, it's not like downhill skiing, not the fun stuff. It's like cross-country skiing. You're going to go up 0 over 1. I'm going to cross-country, up 0 over 1. Up 0. So just going flat, right? Horizontal. So same thing. We're going to start up at 5. Okay, so I'll put my xy axis in real quickly. And I'm going to start up at 5. I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if the slope is 0, I'm just going to go straight across horizontal line. Okay, now kids get confused on this. We're not going to get confused at all. Kids get confused because they see the y-axis, right? And they think it's going to be this way. It's not. So here's another way to look at this, okay? Listen. What's the y value right here? The y value. What's the y value here? 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 Y is always equal to 5. Does that make sense? Math is not hard. Actually, math is just common sense, I think. Okay, now example 5 is different. X equals negative 3. So what do you think?
It's going to be on the x-axis.
Right, it's going to be a vertical line. Totally correct on the x-axis. So let's go ahead and put our line in here. All right. And we'll go to 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Totally correct. So it is a vertical line at negative 3. Okay. And the same thing. If I go through it, what's the x value? Negative 3. What's the x value? Negative 3. What's the x value? X is always equal to negative 3, right? So, but what's the slope of this line? It's a trick question, by the way. It's a trick question. What's the slope of this line? It's a trick question, by the way. What's the slope of this line? It's a trick question. Anybody know? It's not 0. It's not 0. In fact, it happens to be up 1 over 0. Right? Because you're going up 1 over 0, up 1 over 0, up 1 over 0. But you can't divide by 0. You cannot divide by 0. It's impossible to divide by 0, okay? So the slope is undefined. Right. You can 0 on the top is 0. 0 on the bottom is undefined. We're going to find out more about why that's true, okay? We're going to ask Cookie Monster here pretty soon, okay? Now, example 6. Well, what do you think? I got to start up at 100. My scales, my axes, yeah. So let's change my scales. Let's change my scales. I like that. It's totally right. Let's change the scales. And I know I got to start up at 100. So, all right. Let's just do this. So I'm thinking we could go by hundreds. I could go by 50s. I could go by 25s. Doesn't really matter. How about we go by 50s so I can see more of it? I'm just thinking, okay, let's go by 50. So there's 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. And then how about scales down here? Correct. Why am I going to go by ones?
Because it's over 1.
Yes, it's over 1, right? Because you're going to go up 25 and you're going to go over 1, right? So this is going to be really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can do this. We're going to start at 100. I'm going to go up 25 and over 1. Up 25 and over 1. Up 25 and over 1. Up 25 over 1. So forth and so on until we got. Nice job, you guys. Good reasoning. I think we're going to have a good class. Makes sense. Good. And something kids make a mistake, but not you guys. Some kids think the slope is then up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. It is not up 1 over 2. In fact, the slope is 25 over 1, isn't it? Right? The slope is not up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. It's up 25 over 1. Okay, turn the page. Okay. All right. Now, here's the problem. Example 7. There are lots of ways to graph example 7. The way we want to do it is in what we call slope intercept form. Slope intercept form, okay? We want to do it in slope intercept form, which is, sorry, so sloppy. Slope intercept form, which is our y equals mx plus b. Okay, that's the way we want to do it. We want to graph this in what we call slope intercept form. Slope being the m, and the intercept being the b. Okay. Now it's not in slope intercept form, so what we're going to have to do is solve for y. So we're going to have to solve for y. So we need to get y by itself. So it says y equals blah 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 blah. Okay, got it? So to do that, if I look at my equation, here's my y. If I can get rid of the 2x, and if I can get rid of the 3, then all that's left is the y, right? Get rid of the 2x, I get rid of the 3, then all that's left is just going to be the 3, or is the y. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to bring the 2x over. I'm going to bring the 2x over to the other side. How do I do that? Subtract it, right? Subtract it. So if I go minus 2x, okay? Thank goodness this is Algebra 2, because everybody knows that 12 minus 2x is not 10x. It is not. It is just 12 minus 2x. You can't subtract those because one's a number and the other's an x. Subtracting x's from 12, you can't do that, okay? Right? And then I'm going to divide by 3, but I divide everything by 3 because what you do on one side of the equation, you got to do the other, right? Divide by 3, divide by 3. So y is equal to 4 minus 2/3 x, okay? Now, it's written kind of a little bit backwards, so I'm going to switch it around so it really is in my slope-intercept form. So I'm going to rewrite as y equals a negative 2/3 x plus 4. I just switched it around. You don't have to do that. I like to do that because kids are less confused if I do that, okay? All right, so then, let's start at 4 on the y-axis, then we'll go down 2 over 3, okay? So, all right. Let's go ahead and x-axis, my y-axis, oops, x-axis, y-axis, start at positive 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go down 2 over 3, you are so smart, yep, down 2 over 3, and there's my line, arrows, because it goes on forever, okay, thumbs up. Alright, last example. Example 8. All right. In example 8, same thing. You have two choices. You could completely rewrite it. I don't care. You could completely flip it over and put y on the other side. It does not matter to me. Or you just leave y where it is. Or you could bring the y over. There's what do you want to do? Give me some suggestions. There's a lot. There's like bunches of ways to do it. All of them are correct. What do you want to do? Solve for y. Anybody have any? What do you want to do?
If we put y on the other side, it becomes positive 3y.
I like that idea. You can do it another way, by the way. Just because we're doing it this way does not mean this is the only way to do it. I like your idea, though. So bring the y over, I got to add 2y, right? So I got to positive 2y plus 8 equals a 3x. Okay, I skipped a step, but I can do that because this is algebra 2, right? I mean, I added the 2y, right? minus 8, minus 8. I've got a 2y equals 3x minus 8, right? Divide by 2, everything. Divide by 2, everything. Y is equal to 3/2 x minus 4. Okay, not bad. XY axis. Hopefully everybody's good. This is not hard. This is Algebra 1 stuff, by the way. Yes, it is. It's just a review of Algebra 1 stuff. Everybody should be able to do this. Okay, start at -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, up 3 over 2. Okay, there we go. All right, not a bad day for a beginning, right? And this is something I think everybody has to be able to do. Two things that you should be able to do: solve for x and graph a line. Okay, and if you can't do either one,